Breaking news edition of the Kansas City Chiefs Report, powered by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. Thanks for joining us. Let's get right to it. New from ESPN's Adam Teicher this morning. Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver Xavier Worthy was arrested Friday night in Williamson County, Texas, on a charge of assault of a family or house member and impeding the breathing or circulation. Teicher goes on to say, Worthy, 21, was booked into jail Friday night by the Williamson's Sheriff's Office. Online records did not have any details of the arrest or list an attorney for Worthy, who had not posted bond as of Saturday morning. The Chiefs have said they are aware of Worthy's arrest and they're gathering more information. In Texas, impeding a family member's breathing or circulation is a third-degree felony and punishable by 2 to 10 years in prison and a $10,000 fine. So those are the details of the situation. We will continue to follow it, and as we get more updates, what's going on, we will keep you posted here on the Kansas City Chiefs Report. We're not going to speculate when it comes to the charges and all those details. We'll kind of focus on football, the football terms and all this, based on the information we have right now. But here's where Kansas City's at with this. Let's just say the worst case scenario, if Xavier Worthy cannot play for whatever reason, how this unfolds here. You look at the rest of Xavier Worthy's contract. In 2025, he has $1.4 million guaranteed. 2026, he has $2 million guaranteed. 2027, he has $2.6 million guaranteed. And 2028 is an available option. Any suspension handed down by the league for conduct would automatically void the guarantee that he has on future salary. So that is worth noting on that front there, that if something were to go down, that guaranteed money does get voided on that front. And the Chiefs in their situation, we all know, you look at this wide receiver position, and there's some major question marks heading into 2025 with free agency set to begin on Monday as Rashee Rice coming off the injury, and is there a suspension on the way for him? And then you have a number of free agents from Hollywood Brown, DeAndre Hopkins, Juju Smith-Schuster, Justin Watson. You're having to retool this wide receiver room. You already knew that as is. And are you going to have Xavier Worthy here? That's a big question that we shall see. But nonetheless, let's ask you right now, what is your one-word reaction to the Xavier Worthy arrest? Give me your one word. Let us know what it is. My one word is disappointed. I hate to hear this news. Obviously, we'll let the legal process play itself out before we rush to judgment. But the fact that we're sitting here having this conversation, I'm disappointed to hear that we've reached this point, that something allegedly has happened here. I hate to hear that. I'm disappointed. Give me your one-word reaction. Let us know. Folks, this is why you subscribe to the Kansas City Chiefs Report. Woke up to this news, and our team already put their resources together to get a video ready to go so I could get this out there, so I could give you guys the news and react to this. And whether it's good or bad, we keep you up to date on what's going on with your Kansas City Chiefs in these circumstances. And it's my off day. It's a Saturday. I'm at home. I was sleeping in a little bit and got up and immediately threw on a ball cap and brought you this video here on the channel, folks. We are going to keep you posted. It is going to be a very interesting next couple of weeks. We're going to be live for free agency here on the channel on Monday and Tuesday, so don't miss out on that. Back-to-back live free agency shows right here in the Kansas City Chiefs Report. We'll keep you up to date with everything you need to know here on the channel. Subscribe now for free. You'll be glad you did. So Xavier Worthy, coming off a very strong rookie campaign in 2024. And he was named the Chiefs Team Rookie of the Year this past season. And Xavier Worthy, what we saw from him in the second half of the season was a totally different receiver than the version that we saw in the first half when he was still getting accustomed to things. And he was thought of by many as a gadget player. And that role really changed as the year went along, and he became a significant part of this Kansas City Chiefs offense. You look at the statistics of what Xavier Worthy did this past year. He had 59 total catches in the regular season for 638 yards and 6 touchdowns. And they also used him effectively in the running game with 20 carries, 104 yards, and 3 rushing touchdowns. In the playoffs, his impact was more felt. He was very good in the Super Bowl. He came up big in the AFC Championship game. In the Super Bowl, he had 19 catches for 287 yards and 3 touchdowns. And he also had 3 carries for 8 yards in the playoffs as well. And so, let's say, worst case scenario here, if the Chiefs don't have Xavier Worthy, or if he's going to miss a significant amount of time, whatever it may be, this is not an easy thing to replace here with Xavier Worthy. That Xavier Worthy was playing at such a high level and was able to bring different elements to this offense with the speed that he brought to the table and the ability to stretch the field. And then the rushing attack, the fact that they were able to use him on so many jet sweep plays and get him out in space. And one of the things we talked about throughout the season with Xavier Worthy that made him so effective is you just got to get him the ball in space and let him go do his thing, whether that's through the rushing game, whether that's through the receiving game. And guys like Xavier Worthy, they don't grow on trees. It's not easily replaceable. So if you don't have Xavier Worthy, if you're looking for options here in free agency or in the draft, it's not going to be easy to find other guys to potentially step in and fill this void if Xavier Worthy is not going to be around, because he had a bigger impact than I think people give him credit for, than what people realize here. And I think he's got a bright future. And he was in the right system to thrive. Andy Reid is at his best with using these athletes and getting the most out of them. I think if Xavier Worthy would have played for another team, you would have looked at Xavier Worthy and said, he's got raw speed, but maybe not necessarily sure how to use him. And as the Chiefs went along, they continued to expand that role for Xavier Worthy and found the best ways to not just make him a speedster, but an effective receiver. And with going into 2025 with some uncertainty at the wide receiver position, this team had big plans for Xavier Worthy to elevate his game even further and make him even a bigger role within this Kansas City Chiefs offense. So if you don't have Xavier Worthy, that's a huge loss for this team if he's not going to be available. And if you're the Chiefs here, we've seen them in these circumstances before. Tyreek Hill, of course, went through his shenanigans, and ultimately they got to a point where they moved on from him. He was never suspended, but they did reach a point where they said, we can't justify paying him any longer, and they moved on. Rashee Rice, there was a lot of talk last year that he was going to be suspended, obviously had multiple arrests and such, and he played every game until he got hurt, and there was never a punishment that came down from the league. Now, some people think that punishment could be coming this season, but I'll say this. The Chiefs have navigated through these circumstances before, how to handle this, and I think that they've earned our trust to go through these situations the right way and how to handle these circumstances. They're not easy to go through, but the Chiefs have been there, done that before. Unfortunately, this is not unfamiliar territory for the Chiefs dealing with these type of situations here. So we'll see how it ultimately all plays out going forward from here. Who's a wide receiver the Chiefs should add? If they're not going to have Xavier Worthy and potentially say Rashee Rice, and they're going to go shopping in free agency in the draft for wide receiver help, who is somebody that they should add? Give me a name in the comment section that you would like to see the Kansas City Chiefs ultimately add. If they're going to bring in more receiver help, who should it be? Let us know in the comment section below. Appreciate you joining us here on this edition of the Kansas City Chiefs Report. I know it's unfortunate news, but we got to give you the news here on the channel, whether it's good or bad. We're going to keep you posted. Subscribe now. Join us for free agency coverage next week. We'll be live on Monday and Tuesday here on the channel Don't miss out on that. We will continue to keep you posted with everything you need to know on your Kansas City Chiefs. I'm Tyler Jones. Thanks for joining us. Subscribe now, lock us in, and we'll see you next time here on the channel.